Alright, this is the truck. Second one we've gotten this year. It's got the Fxdr on it. I'm excited. This is, well, when there's only one new bike for the model year, it gets exciting when the only one shows up. For those of you that don't know me, my name is John Maxwell. I'm a highly trained unprofessional right here at Chattanooga Harley Davidson. And on this channel, I bring you guys to work with me. So if you want to learn more about Harley Davidson, you should hit the subscribe button right now. I'm actually reshooting this intro because it dawned on me based on the release date that this Saturday, September 8th, we are having an open house here at the dealership where you can ride the Fxdr. You can see all the other 2019 models, and you know, there's like music and food and stuff like that going on. On top of that, after all that is over, Bikes on Broadway will be going on downtown. It's like the only bike event in this town, so you know, it's cool to check it out. I'll be there. If you want to make the trip down to Columbus, wherever you're located, if you're close and can make it, check us out at the dealership. Check me out at Bikes on Broadway that night, September 8th. And yeah, you can, this is the Fxdr. Well, I've already seen it at the dealer show, but this one is ours and I get to ride it. Off the crate, gotta inspect it, make sure, you know, there's no scratches, dents, stings, all that stuff. We don't need a scratch and dent special going on the brand new bike.
Now, of course, it's a keyless model. Key on. Like all 17 or later, check engine light stays on. Oil light's going to stay on. ABS is going to flash till I hit 3 miles an hour. Woo. As far as that fuel light goes, I'm about to take care of that right now. Now, tires brand new have some sort of slickness on them to keep them fresh while in storage, and this one definitely has it on it. They're awfully shiny. Hopefully you guys can see with this semi-awkward riding stance, the bars are actually really low. Of course, I didn't adjust my mirrors. Always remember to do that later. There's Rob back there. Hey Rob. The seat is awesome. It has like gel or something in it. I honestly don't know any specs about the bike yet. I'm gonna have to sit down after the test ride and fill you in. Everything during PDI was really good though. Tire pressure was actually pretty close to exactly where it's supposed to be. 42 in the rear on the 240 models tires. Belt tension was accurate, same as all other Softail models too. Same deflection. And the rear axle nut torque has changed though. I did catch that. I guess because of the new swing arm design.
One-handed swing arm. This isn't even a workout. This is like, it's aluminum, very light. It's insane. Obviously, I'm not going to like straight open it up. New engine and stuff, got brake-in to do. I was like barely cracking the throttle. Feels really powerful. Really, really good. The air cleaner, it is kind of against my leg. It sticks out a pretty decent amount, as you can see. But it's not uncomfortably in my way. I just can tell that it's there, if that makes sense. Maneuvering the bike around in the shop, a lot of times these long low bikes like this are kind of a pain to turn radius sucks, but it was actually pretty good moving it around in the shop. All right, I'm gonna get gas and we'll get back to it. All right, I think I was talking about the turn radius like within the shop was really easy.
as far as like while moving, you can definitely tell that I have a 240 rear tire right now. It's not like turning an aircraft carrier, as Bike and Bird would say, but it is noticeable. You know, it doesn't want to like, it doesn't lean as well as, I think my favorite V-Rod was the 180 rear tire V-Rod. That bike handled really well and still had a lot of get up and go. Not a real fan of how this turned out looking. I think that's kind of weird. Seems like it could have come out and gone under or something. I don't know. Something different than that. The seat is really narrow up front, which is very comfortable, but it's also, I'm able to feel the heat of this rear cylinder very, very easily. Primary is nice and narrow though. It's out of my way. Very, very comfortable to sit. I think I must be sitting higher. I haven't really thought about that until right now. We'll know seat height in a minute when I sit down with the computer. Now, one thing that we did learn at the dealer show was that on the Fxdr you can do traditional handlebars. I think you take this plate off and you can put in you know, just I think there was a set of street slammers at the dealer show, which is good because normally when Harley does something crazy like this, like different handlebars, like on the black line I think it was, or like there's a Sportster low maybe that the initial Street Bob had a top clamp and riser combo. Well, it makes choosing handlebars like a little more difficult, so it's nice that you can do different set on there. Nice touch. This is also, as far as I know, the only, now remember, I'm not a sales guy, I'm a tech. Sales guys are better at this stuff, but I think this is the only Harley that comes in with full LEDs, with headlight, turn signals, front and rear, and the rear tail light all are LEDs. Nice touch, particularly the price point, which is a little steep, but we'll talk about that more in a minute. Hello, sir. I could definitely handle standing up, sitting up a little more. Like, this is how I want to sit. I'd like to be able to sit like this, but then lean forward if I wanted to. But I'm pretty much like straight armed, and my angle is, you know, a little more forward than I wish I was. Particularly with the more forward controls. Well, no, they're really forward. These are like straight up forward. These aren't like forward mids or whatever. These are legit. Well, around this turn is the dealership, so we'll sit down in front of the computer and I'll talk specs real quick, what I think of price point and all that good stuff.
Boom, specs on the Fxdr as promised. But first, I want to add, I didn't actually get to ride this bike nearly as long or in the places that I wanted to ride it. There's actually a customer already waiting to do a test ride on it, so I put gas in it so that he could ride it. He enjoyed it a lot more than I had a chance to, really. I managed to feel the power down the main road to the gas station, but everywhere else I rode, the speed limit was just entirely too slow. So I'm really looking forward to getting it out on the interstate so I can really open it up and to kind of take some corners at a faster speed than, I don't know, 40 miles an hour. But anyway, first up, the pricing, base model being Vivid Black, $21,349. If you want one of the colors, which is a few denim versions, then it jumps up about $400. ABS comes standard, security system is optional. California emissions, whoo, your state is screwing you again. Extra $200 for you guys. Freight, of course, is pretty standard, $390. The engine size for the Fxdr is only offered in a 114. Pretty much standard stuff. The compression ratio. Now, the exhaust is a 2-1, obviously. Got dimensions. The one I'm curious about though is seat height is 27.7. Let's look real quick and see where that compares to, say, my new bike. Boom. because it did seem to be a little higher. So my Heritage seat height with rider on it is 26.3, where the Fxdr seat height is 27.7. So about an 1.5 inch difference, which sounds about right. That's what it felt like. The fuel capacity is 4.4 gallons, but I also wanted to mention that I forgot while I was riding it that the wall of the gas tank seems thinner, probably to save weight. It has a, I don't really know how to describe it. It's not the same beefy tank that we're used to on Harley Davidsons. It's obviously some thought was put into its shape and the amount of material used in an effort to save weight is my guess. Oil capacity is 5 quarts like all of them. 668 pounds is its running weight. Let's check my bike. 723. So that's an additional 60 pounds less is pretty sizable. Performance wise, they're claiming 119 foot-pounds of torque. I'm very curious to get it put on our dyno. I'll have to get one broken in first. Probably need someone to actually buy it before we put it on the dyno, but hopefully we'll be able to check it out. Lean angle right side is 32.6. Lean angle left is 32.8. Let's see where that compares. It's like an additional 5 degrees, 4 to 5 degrees between my Heritage and the Fxdr, which sounds small, but that's actually pretty sizable. I still need to get one out and actually try to drag a peg for sure. I really need one with the engine broken in. So my final thoughts on the model are, well, kind of to be determined. I guess this is almost more of a first impressions video since I haven't really gotten to ride it. I think it's really a cool bike. It's just so much different than what I'm used to. It's hard to even like compare it to anything else, if that makes sense. The rider triangle for me is a little off, so I am glad that handlebar swaps are possible. I think I lean over too far, but I don't know, maybe that's something I'd get used to. You really need to ride it longer to decide if you get, you know, cramps in your back or your arms or wrists or whatever the case. Otherwise though, the seat is extremely comfortable. It does handle really well considering it has a 240 tire. Obviously the rear fender is like, what? It is easy to remove and it's a customizable area that you can easily fix. The downside, of course, in my opinion, is the price point. It would have been really nice if they were under $20,000 instead of just over it. I'm not 100% sure what a different manufacturer's comparable model would be at that engine size. So if you guys know, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Learning the other manufacturers and what they have to offer is definitely something I need work on. I'm still kind of coming out of like the tech side of things and trying to learn more about the sales side, if that makes sense. But this is YouTube, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of comments to fill me in on extra knowledge. All in all though, it is a really fun bike. One that has a lot of potential to hopefully bring new people into the dealership and at least give it a go, give Harley a fair shake. I think if you have the opportunity to ride one, you should, whether it be a demo day or a test ride or what have you. I think it is a bike worth giving a ride. I think the amount of power in that 114 is pretty solid from what I can tell while taking it easy. I mean, you can tell that it wants to go. The narrow fronted seat makes for a really comfortable ride. The forward controls are a little much for me. I think mids probably would have been better suited for it, but what have you. I want to know what your guys' opinion are because I want you to go out and give it a ride and tell me what you think. You can tell me what you think it looks like too. I think it's okay. It's cool, different, and that's what Harley's going for right now. So they nailed that for sure. It's nice to know that they're thinking past, you know, the traditional and baggers and trying to ride their heritage out. I can respect them for trying something new, that's for sure. But that's pretty much it for this little review. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big dirty thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, tap the bell notification so that you know when I upload, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.